Has this ever happened to you? Someone you love, maybe your partner, maybe your mom, maybe your best friend tells you, I just feel like you don't love me. And you're thinking, of course I do. How can you say that? I love you all the time. I hug you, I tell you you're special. I bought you flowers on your birthday. In moments like this, the problem is you're not speaking their language. We all speak different love languages, and we can only communicate if we know the language the other person speaks. Since Gary Chapman published The 5 Love Languages in 1992, the concept has become a cornerstone of the way many people look at relationships. The book is still a bestseller nearly 20 years later and still continues to give readers valuable insights on one of life's biggest challenges, making love last. In his long career as a marriage counselor, Chapman saw couples missing each other over and over, not feeling loved and not understanding why. He noticed patterns of miscommunication and eventually found that everyone receives love in one of 5 ways. In this video, we'll look at each of the 5 love languages and talk about how to figure out which one you and your loved ones speak. But first, let's look at how speaking the right love language can fill up what the book calls the love tank. According to the book, a love tank is a vessel inside of us that holds the love we receive. If it's empty, we crave to fill it. If it's full, life's good. We all have a primal urge for a full tank. Typically, the honeymoon stage of a relationship fills the tank all the way to the top. But over time, it can drain if the other person doesn't know how to fill it. And someone feeling love for us doesn't do the trick. Our love tanks only fill when a person communicates love in our primary love language. The problem is we do not all speak the same language. Imagine blind dating at the United Nations and having no idea if the other person speaks Arabic or English or Swahili. Maybe in the beginning you can get by making googly eyes at each other. But eventually you'll realize that you need to know their language in order to truly communicate your feelings. Now, I'm not going to teach you French or Swahili, but I am going to tell you how you can learn your partner's love language. So let's start by identifying the 5 love languages. Words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, physical touch. Let's go through each one. Words of affirmation is literally a language because it's about using words to express love. Ooh, I love that shirt. I know you'll be great at your new job. You're such a hard worker. You're hilarious. You always know how to make me laugh. For some people, hearing their loved ones say certain things fills up their love tank more than anything else. It makes them feel truly loved and appreciated. Not all speakers of this language find affirmation in the same kinds of words. Just like any language, there are different dialects. For example, maybe your significant other loves compliments. You tell them they're beautiful or how kind they are, and it lights them up and melts their heart. Or maybe you're thinking, every time I compliment my boyfriend, he just awkwardly smiles at me. This is definitely not his love language. Aha! Maybe it is. Maybe he speaks a different dialect. Maybe the affirmations he needs to hear are words of encouragement. All of us could use a boost of courage from time to time, and for some of us, it's the thing we crave most from our loved ones. I once had a friend who'd send me these long messages, encouraging and affirming me, and I remember finding it weird. I didn't really get the point of it. But for fun, we did the love languages test online, and I found out that words of affirmation was their primary love language. So I started giving them the same kinds of affirmations pretty often. It felt a little strange at first, but I remember it had a big impact on our friendship. That really showed me the power of speaking another person's primary love language. In other cases, what your loved one wants most is you. Your presence, your attention, your engagement. If their primary love language is quality time, they feel loved when they get meaningful one-on-one time without distractions. See, many couples believe they spend quality time together, but they're actually just next to each other. Scrolling Instagram on your phone while your partner watches Netflix isn't spending meaningful time together just because you both happen to be sitting on the couch. Instead, here's what true quality time looks like. The phone is silenced, the TV switched off, and you're giving each other undivided attention. We let speakers of this language know how meaningful they are to us when we take time out of our busy, distracted lives and devote it just to them. Just like with words of affirmation, there are different dialects to quality time. Communication means talking about things that matter deeply. Celebrity scandals don't count. It's the deep emotional connection of sharing feelings about life, dreams, and fears that forms a bond and fills up the love tank. To learn this dialect, you might have to talk about your emotions more than you're used to. A real connection requires mutual sharing. On the other hand, it might mean shutting up more than you're used to. Sometimes your partner wants you to simply listen with patience, acceptance, and empathy. Another common quality time dialect is doing shared activities just to be together. It could really be anything: parasailing, basket weaving, or just taking a walk. The activity is just the setting. The important thing is being together. Making the time to share these activities fills the love tank and shows your loved one that you're acting with them in mind. For some people, a tangible symbol of love fills up the love tank. It shows effort and it shows you are thinking of them. If this is not your primary love language, your perfect gift could be an envelope full of cash. But for native speakers of the receiving gifts language, it really is the thought that counts. Big or small, a gift that shows care and effort shows love. This is one of the easier love languages to master. So here's some tips. Look at past gifts. Find out some of your loved one's favorite gifts that they've already received. Making the effort to understand what they like best is exactly what will show them how much you care. Randomly give little gifts to fill up their love tank. Remind them you love them on a day that's not their birthday or Valentine's Day. If you see a gift as an act of love, imagine how moving it is to get a bouquet of your favorite flowers on a random Tuesday. Accept the need to spend money. Think of it as an investment in your relationship. You can come up with clever ways to give gifts on a budget, but you'll probably have to make small sacrifices to keep their love tank full. One of my mother's primary love languages is gift giving, and she recently had her birthday. I wanted to get her something that she would love that would show care and effort. I knew that I had to think of a gift that would make her happy. She likes to have a cup of hot chocolate every night before bed, so I settled on buying her a mug that said, "We love you, Mum," for her night chocolate time. I also added a bouquet of flowers and a cake because I knew it would fill up her love tank even more because she always appreciates traditional gifts like that. Needless to say, she was thrilled. I really had to put myself in my mom's shoes to figure out what to get her because gift giving is not my primary love language. By 100 miles, mine is the next one on our list. Acts of service. Some of us feel most loved when someone meets our needs. When a loved one performs acts of service for us, we feel cared for and understood. Here's an example. When I lived with my sister, one of the first questions she'd ask me after an exhausting, long day of work was, "How can I help?" She'd offer a cup of hot chocolate, this seems to run in the family, or ask if she could bring me food. Even today, she always tells me, "If you need anything, just know I'm here to help." What an angel. And because this is my primary love language, it always translates as love supreme. When a long-term relationship stops feeling loving, it's often not because the two people don't love each other anymore. Rather, it's because they stop showing each other love. In the beginning, it can be easy to do acts of service. For example, when you start dating someone, you want to impress them. It's nothing to spend 2 hours cooking a meal for them or offering to help on a project or running errands for them. But as the excitement fades, it's easy to stop doing these things. But when you don't do them, it means you're not filling the other person's love tank. So if you still love them, the way to show it is to make a choice to do loving acts of service that used to be second nature. Like with other love languages, there's a learning curve. Some people find it difficult to accept help from others, so they might find it difficult to hear this language. Some people find it difficult to offer help because they don't want to impose on another person's life. Sometimes we do help, but not in the ways needed. For example, maybe you're in the habit of washing your partner's car and helping them around the house. But maybe what burdens them most is actually something else. Maybe what they most want is for you to help with an errand or handle bedtime with the kids. Taking these things off their plate will fill them with love and gratitude for you. So these acts are how you can show your love. Everybody knows physical touch is the way to show affection, but for some, it is the supreme expression of love. Without touch, hugs, kisses, back rubs, holding hands, they don't feel loved. There are endless dialects of this language because there are so many different kinds of touch. In a romantic situation, we of course think of intimacy. But there are also many ways to show love outside of the bedroom, like an arm around the waist or a good snuggle on the couch. In this language, it's important to learn what your partner likes and doesn't like. Maybe they don't feel comfortable holding hands, but they can't live without a kiss goodbye. Don't try to mind read. Notice. Ask. Be sensitive to what they want and don't want. Some kinds of physical touch take time, effort, and even skill, like giving a massage. Learn how to perform these activities and make time to engage in them. Take a massage course. Show the other person that what they want is important to you. Other touches are small and subtle, like a kiss on the cheek or a hand on the shoulder. This kind of touch is not time-consuming, but still takes effort. You have to stay in the habit of showing love this way, even if it's not natural to you. Now, being extra sensitive to the meaning of a touch can also apply to negative touch too. Physical discomfort can empty the love tank instead of filling it. And it could also mean being sensitive to touch outside the relationship. If holding hands is one of the main ways your partner receives love, they might see any hands you hold as an expression of love, even if it doesn't carry that meaning for you. Remember, speaking another person's love language is about them, not you. So the key is to see things through their eyes. So those are the 5 love languages. You're probably thinking about yourself or the people in your life and which category everyone falls into. One-on-one time for deep conversations. That sounds like my boyfriend. Now it makes sense why my mother gets so upset when I don't give her a gift. I think mine is physical touch. No. Words of affirmation. No. Acts of service. Sometimes it takes deep self-reflection to understand our truest feelings. Not always easy. If you're unsure, here's some tips you can use to get a better idea of your primary love language or someone else's. To find your own primary love language, ask yourself the following questions. What do you desire most in relationships? What makes you feel loved? Picture someone doing something for you that makes you feel deeply loved and appreciated. What do you see? Is it telling you how special you are? Making time just for you? Giving you the perfect gift? Making your life easier? Touching you in just the right way? Also, what makes you feel hurt or unloved? Unfortunately, our love language seems the most obvious when we wonder if someone loves us at all. What is it that's missing? Does it cut you to the core when a parent criticizes you? Do you feel rejected by your best friend because they're too busy to spend dedicated time with you? Are you crushed when a loved one forgets to give you a gift on your birthday? Do you resent your partner for never cleaning up around the house? Do you feel bad when your partner says goodbye without a kiss? How do you treat your loved ones? When you show love to others, you probably do it in your primary love language. So, looking at your own behavior can show you your comfort zone. It can help you find your native tongue. Do you always tell everyone how special they are to you? Are you always planning dates? Do you put a lot of thought into gifts you give to the people who are most special to you? Do you put a lot of effort into making others' lives easier? Do you often, I literally do all of these. Do you often show affection through a kiss on the cheek or a hand on the shoulder? For the scientifically minded out there, you can even try running an experiment. Try each love language for a week and see what the other person responds to the most. Maybe you don't know how much your partner loves little gifts because you've never given them one. We're not always great at communicating what we want and truly need from the people in our lives. So try it. You might be amazed at the reaction to a small act if it's the right one. It'll also give you insight into yourself. Trying out every language is a good way to find out which one you speak most fluently. If for 4 weeks you struggle and by week 5 you don't even have to try, that's a sign that you found your primary love language. In summary, learning a new language is not easy. But if you want to be understood, it's worth it. When you speak the right language, you show that you're thinking about the other person, that you care a lot about them, and that your love for them is always on your mind. Remember the love tank. Love can't be a whirlwind forever. A mature connection requires effort and deep understanding. And what's more important than how to show someone else you love them? So let me know in the comments section, what's your primary love language? How do you know? How about your partner, your parents, your children? The book also has lots of great insights into love that we didn't have the time to cover in this video. So if you're interested in going deeper, check out the Shortform guide to the 5 love languages. Shortform makes the world's best guides to nonfiction books, complete with well-crafted exercises that help you learn faster and remember better. You can get a 5-day free trial and a discounted annual subscription at shortform.com/YouTube. Click the link in the description below and support the author and publisher of the 5 love languages. A link to buy the book is below as well. And finally, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next short form video. Thanks so much for watching and see you next time.